It was a calm, starry night off the coast of California, and 34 people were asleep, dreaming of diving adventures and sunlit waves. By dawn, every one of them would be gone. There was no storm, no collision, no warning, only fire, smoke, and panic spreading through a vessel that had carried hundreds safely before. How could a night meant for adventure turn into one of the deadliest maritime disasters in modern U.S. history? On Labor Day weekend, September 1st, 2019, the MV Conception, a 75-foot live-aboard dive boat operated by Truth Aquatics, anchored off Santa Cruz Island, California. The vessel had spent decades carrying divers into the Channel Islands National Marine Sanctuary. Its fiberglass hull, mid-deck salon, galley, lower bunk rooms, and aft dive deck were familiar, trusted, and considered safe. That evening, 33 passengers and 1 crew member slept below deck in tight bunk rooms. Phones, cameras, and dive equipment were plugged in to charge. 5 crew members remained awake above deck, preparing for the next day's dives. At approximately 3:15 a.m., a fire ignited. Investigators later pointed to electrical issues from charging devices as a likely cause, though the fire spread so fast that it was impossible to contain. Within minutes, flames ripped through the salon and galley above the bunk room. Thick, toxic smoke poured into the sleeping quarters. The primary stairway was blocked. The small emergency hatch opened directly into the fire. The 5 crew members above deck jumped into the cold Pacific waters and survived. Those below had no escape. 34 lives were lost to smoke inhalation, 33 passengers and 1 crew member. By sunrise, the Conception had burned to the waterline. Later, it sank in approximately 60 feet of water, leaving nothing behind but charred wreckage and a deep scar on California's maritime history. Federal investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board and the U.S. Coast Guard found multiple failures. No overnight roving watch to monitor the vessel, unsafe charging of multiple electronic devices, limited and vulnerable emergency exits from the lower deck, insufficient fire detection and suppression systems. The tragedy was preventable. It sparked a nationwide call to reform safety regulations for small passenger vessels. Proposals included improved fire detection, mandatory crew watches, and better designed escape routes. The Conception disaster sent shockwaves through the diving and maritime communities. Memorials were held. Families sued for accountability. Safety standards across the U.S. charter fleet were rewritten, but no law, no regulation, and no safety reform could return the 34 lives lost that night. The waters around Santa Cruz Island remain calm. The kelp forests still sway. Dive boats still anchor in the same coves. Yet the memory of that night lingers like smoke over the water. 34 people went to sleep expecting a normal morning. Instead, their story became a lesson in vigilance, risk, and the invisible dangers that can turn routine into disaster. How could something as ordinary as a quiet night on a boat become a nightmare no one could escape? And when we trust the sea and those who operate upon it, how much safety is truly enough?